Saxon Huxley.
Too many X's in a name. Too many X's. One is enough.
Would a Jesus gimmick work on NXT UK?
I mean, Vince McMahon was the higher power, so why not?
Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Hello, and a very warm welcome back to the Gimme a Whole Year Wrestling Podcast. My name is Ant, and you are...
Ollie.
Ollie, I like your little wave thing. I noticed that in editing last time. It's Ollie's thing. We're reviewing NXT Episode 3 today.
Yes.
If you're enjoying this, please let us know in the comments below or via our Facebook or Twitter page. If you hit that thumbs up button, it really helps the channel. And subscribe, press that bell button, ding, ding, ding. That's like the match starting.
Yeah.
To get notified when we're next putting these episodes up. Hopefully next week we're going to get the episodes up a little quicker to you all. So this was from the 31st of October episode. So they had 2 episodes on this week. We didn't know about that.
Yeah.
So we've reviewed the first one. We'll get the next one to you as soon as possible. Why do you think they've done that?
Get through content.
I think it is. These matches were filmed in July, and a lot's changed since they were filmed. So Toni Storm, I think, is the biggest example.
Yeah.
After winning the Mae Young Classic at Evolution, in a great match, in a really good match, she's obviously going to be like highlighted more as a star in this, and we still haven't got a women's title
on
winner
TV,
on TV,
yeah.
even though we know that it's been filmed. So I think they're trying to push it all out. They've already got them edited, so push them all out as separate episodes and get them done to continue the storylines that they're still going through with. I'm enjoying some of the storylines in this, and we'll talk about that more when we get to them. But I think that NXT are doing a good job, especially building one storyline, which I'm quite excited for. Straight into the matches this week. So we had Trent Seven versus Saxon Huxley.
Too many X's in a name. Too many X's. One is enough.
It's not a used letter, is it?
No.
If he had one more X, he'd be triple X.
Yeah. Which would actually be quite a way better name, I think. Yeah, triple X.
The hardcore champion. Quick promo video during Saxon's entrance. But you can't really see his entrance, so you're losing any care about the guy anyway.
Yeah.
He appeared first in the Blackpool tournament, and now will be his redemption. Straight into the match. So I love Trent Seven style, man.
Yeah.
He's fun. He feels fun, but it doesn't feel silly. No. So he had a great moment at the start of the match where he was using squats to get out of a lockup and stuff like that. It feels really traditional, and I really like that. And entertainment.
And Saxon catches him as well, doesn't he, when he's coming out of that? So they play into the, it's he's got that fun element, but then Saxon's there with that kind of hard to
abuse that fun. Absolutely.
And that establishes a really nice heel face dynamic really well, and it's good.
There was a really weird splash where Huxley dives into a running 7 with his arms outspread.
Yeah.
What was that? It was like, hey!
Yeah, it looked like he was almost going for a Luther's press, and then sort of didn't at the last minute.
I really wound it to watch it, because I was like, has he gone for like was he supposed to do a jump over him? But no, it was just a bit weird. Strange. I think there was a chance of looks like Jesus. Neither of us could,
something Jesus.
For Huxley, which is all good.
Yeah,
we like stuff like that. He should definitely come out in a white robe. Would a Jesus gimmick work on NXT UK?
I mean, Vince McMahon was the higher power, so why not? We've already had God feature on WWE already.
Yeah.
So
this could be the second coming of Christ in Saxon Huxley.
That would be a really good series of promos, actually.
I think it would be. And now we've got Shawn Michaels back. He can go out with it.
Just comes out, super kicks him. No, my child.
Seven ends up in a headlock, repeatedly touching the ref to help him out. I thought it was a bit weird. He was just sort of grabbing onto the ref, and the ref sort of let it happen a little bit. I went, what are you doing, man?
I suppose. Yeah.
7-star lariat from Seven. Incredible connection on Seven's lariats. He's got the body mass, hasn't he, to sort of connect and go splat.
And we've mentioned this a few times. Just all the lariats and clotheslines on NXT UK are just so good to watch. They're always really hard hitting. Like, you watch regular Monday, Tuesday night WWE programming, and by comparison, the clotheslines are.
And they abuse other things. They abuse stuff like the stage dives and the suicide dives and that sort of thing, or jumping off the top rope onto someone. They're not abusing that as much.
No,
but I suppose
for
it's
British
just all
wrestling, a nice
it
big
feels
clothesline.
hard hitting. Yeah, it does. Almost like a match of Sid against Diesel, which we've just covered in our In Your House review. So please check out that video if you haven't already. 7 wins with a burning hammer.
Yes.
Didn't expect anything else, to be honest.
Well, you know what? Like, I could have sworn that... I hadn't thought about this for a while, but I thought the burning hammer was banned.
I don't know.
I had it in my head that the burning hammer was banned.
I didn't
and
know
I
that.
didn't think about it until I watched it, and I was like, I'm sure the burning hammer
I haven't seen that
banned.
for a while.
But yeah, maybe.
It's a good move.
It's a great move. I love it.
Great.
I thought it was banned because it was too dangerous.
What did you think of Saxon Huxley? I mean, we sort of know Trent Seven, but let's talk a little bit about Saxon.
I think he's got potential to be
As
really
Jesus.
good. Yeah, like, well, the thing is, he's got the look. He's tall, he's huge, isn't he? He's tall. He's. I think that his promo that he had, where he said like, "Oh, you'll remember me as the guy." I'm sure it was at Saxon Huxley, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You'll remember me as the guy who had a nondescript performance at the thing. I was like, why are you no-selling yourself? Like, what's happening? Like,
You'll remember me as the guy that you don't remember.
Yeah, basically is what he said. And I was like, like, don't no-sell yourself. Like, you want a big... Because I'm not going to be excited about you if you're not. Do you know what I mean?
No, I agree.
But he looks really good in the ring. Like, I liked
It
it.
is okay. I didn't think there was much to the match. It
didn't go long enough to showcase, really, but I thought he was good.
Next up, we have a video with the Coffee Brothers showing all of the vicious attacks, but I think they need a new, double team finisher, man. It doesn't... They do the sort of... One of them lifts him over his shoulders, and the other guy does the elbow. Or uppercut.
It's fine, but with two big guys like that,
they could do something more interesting. Like a shatter machine. Like, that's a great sort of double finisher that feels great.
I think when you've got two such big, powerful dudes, and they've got this, reputation for being really aggressive. I think and particularly when so many of their opponents are going to be these smaller guys, because so many of the NXT UK roster are smaller guys.
They are.
You could have some huge power move with those two that really looks
an assisted powerbomb, or I even think a double clothesline would probably look better than this.
Yeah.
It's just not connecting for me. I think it needs to be a lot more vicious.
I agree with you.
We see Flash Morgan Webster backstage, who's going to bring his style and aggression to the ring. Only he can. Why? Because in mods we trust. Flash Morgan Webster's awesome. So the next match is Mark Coffey, accompanied by Joe Coffey, versus Flash Morgan Webster. Obviously, prior to this event, Webster made the save during the beatdown on Mark Andrews. That was on episode 1 of our NXT review. Go back and watch it and let us know, and we'll let you know what we think on that. Webster, man, iconic character.
Yeah.
He comes out with his red and blue suit on, his Parker jacket, his biker helmet, and his shades, and he just looks the part, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks like a star.
He looks amazing, and it's such a simple gimmick. I imagine when he was told his gimmick was going to be the mod, he was like...
Do you think he was told? Or do you think he came up with it?
I don't know. I never thought of that.
I feel like he might have come up with it.
He could have done.
It seems like a very imaginative kind of
WWE thing.
Yeah,
maybe so.
I think he came up with it.
Maybe so.
Personally.
But it's great, and he looks great. He's so iconic. You could put him on a main roster show, and you'd know where he's come from.
Yeah,
and that's sort of quite important. A lot of the guys I noticed, especially in this episode, like Saxon Huxley and the guy in the Nets match was Gradewell, very nondescript sort of ring gear. Whereas this is sort of really
he feels like he's got a very strong, larger than life character, which is always good. I like the mod thing. If he doesn't have a move called modification, if he doesn't, I think he might do. But if he doesn't, he should. So
talking of moves, we was talking last week a little bit about Zach Gibson's finisher, the Shankly Gate being based on Liverpool. Do you think Nathan Cruz, who is a Hull-based wrestler, his finisher should be the Humber Bridge?
No. No, definitely not. No. Unless it's a figure eight.
Yeah,
if it's a figure eight with the bridge, then I could see it. But that feels more like a Zoidberg elbow kind of move. Do you know what I mean? It feels more like a comedy.
Oh my god, it's the Humber Bridge. For those of you who don't know, the Humber Bridge is sort of an icon from Hull. It was the largest suspension bridge in the world for a long time.
Yeah,
it's a longer suspension bridge than the Golden Gate Bridge. So there's a little bit of Hull knowledge for you.
It's a big old bridge.
It's a big old. I don't think it is the largest anymore.
No, probably not.
Someone's bigger. Wow. Anyway, back onto wrestling. A forward flipping standing senton from Webster. That was pretty neat. Something that we don't see very often.
Yeah.
Normally they go backwards.
His when Mark Coffey came into the corner and and Webster did that kind of rolling flip over his back to get out of the corner.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
It was a good way of him getting out of being attacked. Yeah, it was really neat, and the way
really
that it connected with Coffey's back as well, sort of rolling through, was really neat.
I've never seen that before, actually.
It was cool.
It was really cool.
It was cool. A lot of really nice arm drags early on from Webster as well, repetition of the same move, but it was done really well. I
was surprised how much offense he got in the early part of that match.
I was, and then obviously Coffey starts getting the advantage when he goes to ringside, and Joe Coffey, his brother, stands on the apron, meaning that Webster can't do the suicide dive or whatever he was attempting to do. They did this twice during the match, very cleverly. We'll go on to that when he does it again. Oh yeah, so it goes to the ringside again. Joe stands on the apron this time. Instead of going over or through, Webster goes onto the other side of the apron and uses the turnbuckle, holding onto the turnbuckle, does this great move where he flipped himself around into the Hurricanrana on Joe that was on the other side and went into the Hurricanrana didn't look great, but in terms of the setup for the move, it looked really cool.
It's like the beginning of one of those corner post 619s that
like a corner post 619. It was great.
He caught him with the legs and then to the outside. It was nice.
It was cool. It was cool. Webster goes to get to the top turnbuckle, but Joe interferes this time. Webster kicks Joe off the apron, so Joe's out of the match. And although Mark comes to suplex Webster, he rolls himself over and gets a crucifixion for the pin.
Yes.
Enjoyed this match a lot, actually.
Yeah.
For the short time they had, they did a lot.
Really, really good match. They're both great in the ring. I don't know whether it makes the Coffeys look a bit weak.
I didn't think it did. I thought it was that good a match. It sort of didn't. I thought they sort of held their own. Obviously, at the end of the match, the Coffey brothers go to attack Webster, and Travis Banks and Mark Andrews come out for the save. Obviously,
setting up something.
Webster saved Mark Andrews earlier on. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm enjoying this story, Sam.
I like the match, and I love the Coffeys. I think when you've got such a size advantage one-on-one anyway, and then you've got the advantage of having your brother on the ringside as well.
It probably should have been him that won.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think what you could have done with it maybe is have the Coffeys have dominance through more of the match, then have the comeback be all about his Gibson's resilience and his skill, and then using Webster's resilience and skill, kind of coming back against them, and then have them finally get the distraction for the win, and then the beatdown, because it makes Webster look strong, and but it also sells the Coffeys as a dominant, aggressive, underhand duo. I don't know. It just made them feel a little bit weak to both be beat. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. I didn't think it did because I thought that the in-ring work was so good. But I think the thing is, we're still at the. It's that hard thing of distinguishing. We're still at the NXT. We're still at the birth of the NXT UK, and at the minute the faces are all going over, and we're sort of celebrating the faces. That's what the whole shows feel like, apart from the sort of main eventers.
The Coffeys are great. I want to see them win.
They will. Yeah, they will in time. I imagine they're going to be tag team champs.
I would hope so.
I think
they'd be a really good.
Yeah. Great. Enjoyed them. And some really good storytelling, I thought, with the Coffey brothers, that sort of repetition of moves. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where they go next. Next up, we have a Danny Burch video package, followed by a Sam... Danny Burch, it didn't add anything special, did it? It was just what he'd sort of done briefly. Sam Gradwell video package. He's not here to be a fireworks display. He's here to be a thunderstorm. Quite enjoy that reference. That felt good.
Yeah.
It's Gradewell who was obviously attacked by Pete Dunne during the Blackpool tournament that happened over a year ago.
Yes.
And they showed a video.
I just realised I've made a mistake. It wasn't Saxon Huxley who no-sold himself. It was Gradwell or Gradewell. It was Gradewell who no-sold himself in his promo.
Ah, right,
Yeah,
okay.
I got those two confused.
Gradewell didn't. I didn't enjoy Gradewell in the match either. A video of Ginny it was in the style of a model, sort of like with Vogue
The
lettering
fashion
thing.
Oh man,
You don't
did not like it at all.
We'll see where it goes. I think we'll have to see where it goes.
I don't like. I mean, it's to me, it's nonsensical. Like you
It is
go,
a bit.
if you get in the ring with me, I'm gonna teach you why your fashion's wrong. What? Like, I don't understand.
Oh, maybe she could have a relationship with Flash Morgan Webster though.
Maybe, but I don't care.
The Yip couple.
I
know what you mean.
don't care.
I don't know, but I think we've got to wait and see how she uses it in the ring.
In the ring,
first,
yeah,
that's going to be what sells it.
Yeah, I'm not.
Is she going to be one of them that doesn't want her face to get hurt and then uses it to take advantage?
Maybe,
a la Shawn Michaels '92 SummerSlam.
Maybe, or the Miz.
Stuff, oh, the Miz, yeah. So maybe it'll work. We don't know yet. We don't know. Sam Gradewell versus Danny Burch was next. Gradewell with his mohawk, much like Sheamus, gets You Look Stupid chance. I was surprised, really, by the amount of offense that Gradewell got early on. He really did.
Yeah, well, it was a good strikers match, wasn't it? You know,
it was.
Like
it
they
felt
were just
hard hitting,
punching the ever living lights out of each other, weren't they?
Yeah.
Like it was. He did get a lot of offense, but I mean, it kind of made sense. He's a big dude. He does look like discount Sheamus, which is hilarious.
Yeah. He nearly got a pin early on with a Falcon Arrow, which was quite sweet to see.
Yeah.
There was a great moment as well where there was doing that kick thing on the floor, you know, where I think it was Gradewell Birch was on the floor and Gradewell was going to pick him up and Birch was kicking him away, and they did that for quite a bit in the ring. Again, do you know that sort of thing that we talked about with Pete Dunne?
Just on the floor.
Really cool, love stuff like that. It makes things feel real.
It was a really good match, actually. Like,
it was alright.
I really like kind of heavy striking matches when they're done well, and that was done really well.
Yeah, because we get so much of that flying stuff at the minute. Yeah. It's good to see two guys go at it. Bert shouts midway through the match on the Ed Son before going for a headbutt, which Gradewell kicked away. I liked the idea of it, but the way it was played on TV was pretty awful. So they went straight into the next segment. That feels like if you go for a headbutt and someone kicks your head while delivering the headbutt, that feels like it should be a big point in the match. Yeah. It should be sort of a statement, but it wasn't. They should have made more of that.
Yeah, I think like there was a few moments in that match actually where there was a big strike and then it just went straight. I don't know, you know what I mean? It went straight into the next
segment.
And it's like I get they're both strikers, so they're both used to taking punches as well. But I kind of want to see more of that kind of jelly leg stuff that Birch does so well. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And like that would have been nice.
It don't feel like they're using them as well as it could do at the minute.
Although that right hand that Gradwell like just drops. Mm-hmm. Like Birch catches him with the right hand and he just hits the deck. Was amazing.
Really cool.
Really good.
Birch gets Gradewell's legs onto the top rope to deliver a DDT off it, and he gets a wing. Yeah, it was okay. It was a good match. Yeah. It was okay. An in-ring interview with Birch, pandering to the UK and how much this means to him. Fighting all over the world for the last 15 years. This is his home. Met with the It's Coming Home, our football song. He wants someone's attention. Pete Dunne. He says he was British strong style while Pete Dunne was still in nappies. Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough.
Yeah. Do
you want to see Danny Burch versus Pete Dunne?
Yeah, I kind of do. Yeah. I don't want to see Danny Burch beat Pete Dunne, but I want to see that match just for... I think because they'll tell a good story and ring together. I think I think Danny Burch is really good. I think Pete Dunne is amazing. He's done good stuff with Oney Lorcan in NXT, but then I'd always say I preferred Oney Lorcan as opposed to Danny Burch in their tag team matches. I don't know why. Oney Lorcan just feels like the real underdog of NXT. I just like Burch's hard hitting style. I like the strikes. I think also as well. I think his promo at the end of that match demonstrated how much more, or at least how much more I like him when he's sat in an interview situation rather than on the mic, at the end of a match. He seemed like kind of all over. I suppose he would be at the end of a match, but like, I think like he's a lot stronger with his promos when he's sat down and.
It felt a bit pandery to me.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It felt a bit pandery and a bit samey all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it was very much.
I'm very
British.
Scripted, didn't it?
Yeah, it felt like a house
scripted.
show thing, man. It just felt like a house show, and that's my problem with a lot of NXT at the minute. Especially the who's winning, it feels like a house show sort of card.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's just because that was the first filming.
Maybe so.
Session, you know.
Jordan Devlin video next. He's the most impressive on the roster, bar none. I wasn't very impressed with Devlin in the UK tournament earlier this year, so I am excited to see where they go with him from here.
Yeah.
They keep referencing the Finn Balor thing and being trained by Finn Balor, but they really need to separate him from Finn Balor, man.
Yeah, because he kind of almost looks a bit like Finn Balor.
He does
as well,
look a bit
doesn't
like
he?
Finn
And
Balor, yeah.
Like in terms of his like in-ring gear and stuff and,
And
everything.
moveset, it's all too similar, man. And it just feels like a bad knockoff of Finn Balor. And they need to, for me, they need to step well away from that.
Because he's got the potential to be on his own 2 feet, really, really good. But he does need to move away from that Finn Balor style, because otherwise, he's just going to be seen as a second grade Finn Balor.
Yeah, Finn Balor. Yeah. Noam Dar versus Zach Gibson is the main event for this episode, and what a match.
Yes.
Great. So many good points to this match. Early on, the audience are one of them, and Noam Dar playing into the audience was great. So very early on, the shoes are off for Zach Gibson. I think he was coming down the ramp and people had the shoes off
ready
in the crowd, ready to go. Yeah. Noam Dar used it. So he used it, and I'm pretty sure this was all improvisation with Gibson threatening to take his shoes off. So he sort of gets his ropes. It must have been improvisation, because he would have made it so that it was possible to do, I'd assume, if not. But really enjoyed it, because he had his sort of tights underneath his shoes. Then Noam Dar goes for a figure four, again using that momentum from the crowd, teasing that he's going to take off Gibson's shoes. The crowd went mental. I thought that was so good. And
it was nice.
I've always liked Noam Dar. I thought he was impressive in the ring. I thought his stuff with Alicia Fox was hilarious. But this was really good in-ring storytelling. Yeah, really good work. Good. Gibson locks onto Dar's arm, and whenever he moves, he keeps it locked in. Really nice little segment there.
Yes.
He ended up on the floor, and he just wouldn't release that arm.
Kept trying to bounce him off the ropes, and every single time Gibson's in there just holding onto the arm, and Noam Dar's making those great squeals of pain each time. Really effective storytelling there.
Really effective storytelling. And speaking of effective storytelling, we have Gibson who starts selling his knee when Noam Dar slides off the rope to hit his knee. And then Gibson, on the outside, uses the ropes to pull at Noam Dar's elbow. So we're basically getting into this. What the entire match was about, the story, was Gibson's hurt knee and Dar's hurt arm, basically, which was great. Another great chant from the audience. They're amazing, this audience. So Noam Dar, da 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 da.
Yeah. It's a great one.
Man.
I always love that one when it comes up.
Dar takes out Gibson's knee again with a drop kick from the ramp, which sends Gibson somersaulting over himself. I like the idea. So the commentary brought something up here. So obviously the crowd are chanting all the way through. Some great chants, wonderful, angry all the way through. At some points it feels like it takes away a little bit from what's happening in the ring, because they're just having a good time and chanting what they do. Yeah. But the commentary did a great job of selling. So what they said is that instead of the crowd helping Noam Dar out, they're actually what was the word they used? Helping Gibson's anger. It's bringing out more of Gibson's anger than it's bringing out Noam Dar's. Which I really enjoy. And I think that that's a great way for them to start playing off it, that Gibson loves the hate, and when he gets that hate, he becomes stronger.
Yeah. That was really, really clever. Like, but those two guys, Noam Dar and Gibson, did an amazing job of using the. You know, I was saying last week about how I would have preferred Gibson to use the momentum of the crowd a bit more during that promo segment.
It all happened in this match.
This is where they used it, and it was really effective.
It's good. And the other thing about Gibson is he's so clean, man. Yeah. His wrestling style is so clean. It's not the fastest, but it doesn't have to be, because it's so sharp. And when he gets moves, it's delivered with real nice.
He's got such good awareness of how to tell a story as well. You know,
he does. Yeah.
Like that whole arm grabbing thing.
It was great.
Really good.
There was a lung blow off the second rope, which nearly got Gibson the pin. Again, looked great, and again
like
he tries it later on.
Code breaker almost.
Yeah, basically, yeah. They call it a lung blow, but code breaker. But yeah, I thought that was going to win the match, and it didn't. The match went on for a long time.
Yeah.
Gibson delivered a powerbomb of sorts to Dar onto the wooden ring ramp, which sounded really nasty. It sounded like it was a brutal bump. But Gibson was actually stood on the side of the ring ramp. So actually, Noam Dar didn't have far to fall.
No, he kind of like released him onto it.
But it worked, you know, because of the sound. It really sort of sold this devastating move, which
Crowd
actually...
went crazy for it as well, didn't they? They were giving that particular expletive chant.
Yeah, there was a couple of expletive chants, man. Yeah, holy rubbish.
Holy rubbish.
Which I should definitely save for the Jesus.
Yeah, holy rubbish.
God, the chants would be great. Go on, make it happen, WWE. Gibson locks in the Shankly Gates, but
just realised what his finisher would be.
Oh, go on.
Crucifix powerbomb.
I might call it the Holy Diver. Oh man, I love it. Gibson locked in the Shankly Gates, but Dar didn't tap. They sold the Shankly Gates for ages as his massive move, and I was really surprised. And he actually made it to the ropes. A double stomp from the top rope onto Dar to Gibson's knee.
Yes.
Looked pretty rough.
It did, yeah. I wish the camera angle had been better on it though. It was a little bit too close and it made it hard to really see it.
The camera angle where Noam Dar went off the ramp onto his knee was a bit rubbish.
Yeah, it was just very close up. Yeah. It's hard to see it.
Gibson started to sell his fear of Dar at this point. Gibson did a great job of that sort of no, stay back, because the guys were sweating. I mean, this was a long match, and they both went at it really well.
And at this point, Dar has shown so much resiliency. You've got to, as Gibson, you've got to be feeling like, what on earth is this guy
am I
made out
finish
of?
This guy?
What is he made out of? What?
It felt massive. This match.
It did feel like a big match. And you know what? I was really looking forward to it because of the work they did last week.
Yes.
And so they in terms of a full story, you know what I mean? It's done really, really well, I think, this match.
Agreed completely. So there's a couple of points now. So it starts speeding up a bit, and we get more submissions from Dar trying to get out Gibson. Gibson, great work of getting out of a submission. Instead of going for the traditional, going for the rope, that constant using his size to beat the person.
Yeah.
Beat his way out of a submission. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
Really good. Not something we see all the time. Gibson gets Zigson. Awesome.
Zigson.
Gibson gets the Helter Skelter for the pin. I had a little problem with this. Helter Skelter looks great. Yeah. What was the way to end this match?
You've got to focus on the body part.
You have to, which is the Shankly Gate.
The Shankly Gate.
So the Helter Skelter into a Shankly Gate would have made so much more sense.
Yeah.
I can't understand why they didn't.
It did feel really weird that they spent the whole match telling leg versus
and it was
shoulder,
greatly told.
And then to turn around at the end and go, we'll just not use any of that. I'll do a slam and then
weird. Great match, great storytelling for the most part, apart from that little thing at the end that neither of us I don't think like.
Yeah.
And the main event was given time. It was a 25-minute match on a 1-hour show, and they even extended the episode like 5 minutes to make it.
Yeah, it was like an hour and 4 minutes.
Which is great, and really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this episode of NXT.
Yeah, I
feel like the first half sort of disappeared because of the really well-told last match.
Yes.
You enjoy it?
Yeah, I did. I don't think there was a weak segment apart from, for me, the Ginny promo. That was the only thing that I went like, what is happening? But
we've got to sort of wait and see how that plays out.
But in terms of just it on its own, I didn't. I didn't
rate the Gradewell match quite as much as the others. The Gradewell and Birch match.
See, I quite liked it.
Did you?
Yeah, but I guess I quite like that British strong style, punching each other really hard in the face kind of thing. You know, when it looks kind of authentic,
it works.
It works for me. I like that kind of style. I didn't think much to the Trent Seven, Saxon, Huxley, Too Many X's.
I just like Jesus.
I like that as a. I hope they go there with that.
They definitely should.
Best thing about that match though was the commentary doing a really good job of selling like, oh no, they're really getting behind Trent Seven, but they were actually chanting for the guy with the 2 beers who was trying to make his way down the aisle, and like you could see them all like focusing on this beer guy, and the commentary trying to sell it. It's like, oh, they're really getting behind Trent Seven. It's this dude with 2 beers.
It's that part that WWE thing where someone gets a beach ball and the crowd are just not interested in it, but they'll try and sell it. So who was the best match of the night for you?
Gibson Dar.
Easily Gibson. And best performer. That's a more tough one. I'm going to give it to Noam Dar, and I'll tell you why. I think Gibson did some great ring work, but I thought Dar's improvisation with the foot stuff was impeccable. Man. It was good.
I'm going to give it to Gibson just because I absolutely loved that bit when it slowed down a little bit in the last third of the match, and he started like Dar like opened up his ears so he could hear the crowd, and then Gibson did it back to him, and then started going like, you shouldn't be listening to them, you should be looking at me, kind of thing. That whole thing was amazing. Intense. And it was really nice to see him just like ragdolling Dar around while he did that. I'm giving it to Gibson.
Cool. And how many gay stars would you give this pay-per-view in total?
Pay-per-view?
Sorry, not pay-per-view. Me and Don normally do pay-per-view. the UK NXT.
3, I think.
3,
it was fine. It was good.
It's 3.5, I think,
good.
for me. It was really good. Really enjoyed it, and suggest you definitely go back and watch that match.
Yes.
In a very short time, we'll try and get the episode 4 review, which came out on the same night. We'll try and get that to you as soon as possible. So please, if you subscribe to the channel, like, it'll let you know when it comes out.
Hit that little bell.
Ding, ding,
ding, ding,
ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. And that's got Mustache Mountain. Mustache Mountain are in the next episode.
Are they?
Yeah. So we're actually going to get to see.
And Trent. No. I think it ends up being Mark Andrews.
Right.
I think Banks was ill, Travis Banks. So, but we'll see. We'll see when we watch the episode. Please, thank you so much for joining us. Awesome. That sentence made no sense. And keep it gay.
Yep. Turn it away.